Hey guys, this is Kamai Tarpley. I'm gonna do this super fast. so, look out. Today we are talking about the 1 year anniversary of me existing post stroke. We will say that. Trigger warning, suicide is mentioned, so definitely if that bugs you, definitely turn off this. Turn off this? Turn this off. Whatever. So first, we'll start on a happy note, and I do kind of want to recommend a coffee brand, um, Bones Coffee. I specifically found them. I know for those of us with high blood pressure or who suffered a stroke, or any other. Sorry, I just saw my cat being cute. um, or who suffered any other type of thing, definitely we have to stick with decaf. So definitely they have different flavors of decaf, which I really like. Specifically, if you go to bonescoffee.com, you'll see their decaf section. They have a couple other things, but I've honestly liked the s'mores, the strawberry cheesecake, and the maple bacon so far. So that's what I get. And also, Coffee Mate has this sweet Italian cream creamer that I like. It's sugar free, and I also use sugar free sugar packets. So definitely keep that in mind. Now for the real stuff, because I would like to be as real and authentic as possible with this. I deleted my last thing about this because I started crying in the middle of it, and we're definitely gonna try and take care of this. So, year post stroke. So honestly, the past year has been mostly frustrating. It has not been a great year for me. And honestly, I think right now, especially in the middle of a pandemic, a lot of people feel that way, to be honest. A lot of things have happened. Financially, everyone's been hit, and that's pretty hard. So mentally, a lot of people have been hit pretty hard. So that's honestly not that it's a good thing, but that is kind of the good thing about it, is that we can all kind of relate in some sense of the way, you know what I mean? Um, so, and I don't want this is gonna come off morbid. I don't care. I really don't care. This is gonna come off morbid, but it's genuinely how I feel, and no amount, no amount of prayer or crystals or nothing can really change the way I feel about this. Because it is a human emotion, and I'm not gonna try and mask it with anything. But I definitely wish that I would have died that day. And that's so, it sounds morbid. It really does. But I definitely wish I would have died. And here's why I wish I would have died that day. So basically, so benefits. I've applied for benefits multiple times, and with the appeals and everything, and they've completely denied me. Um, Unemployment denied me, even though I gave them proof of everything. Their phone lines and everything were obviously shut down, so I could never reach anybody to fix it. So they never approved me ever. And I couldn't work after my stroke, so I had a really hard time. I had a very hard time. Thankfully, I had some family members that helped keep me afloat with some of the things. And I did also have some savings. I'm very glad that I've always been really good with money, because I was able to keep my apartment, keep my car, that type of stuff. Very, very fortunate. For that part of it, I would definitely say I'm very thankful for that. Um, so Okay, so benefits didn't improve me. I didn't get unemployment, and I also couldn't work. So it was just kind of hard because, I'm kind of just what am I supposed to do? Long term, when you really kind of think about it, okay, if when my savings run out, when I drain my family members dry, what's gonna happen at that point? Um, Honestly, the only kind of real light out of this was getting Chupa. That was really kind of the only real light that I've seen in the past year. I've been depressed for a full year. Usually my depression comes in seasons or cycles, but it's pretty continuous. um, it's really frustrating. It's really frustrating. Not being able to physically do stuff, and like having to go to different neurologists, different doctors, different physical therapists, like having like all these appointments. It's been so frustrating having to do so much, and then everyone expects so much out of you because I'm young. I'm only 30, and I had the stroke, and like I'm really exhausted with explaining to people like I get that you have a standard for me, but I cannot meet your standard. Okay? I really have taken this year to really kind of just worry about what I care about, what I know that I can do uh and cannot do. Like I just only think about what I worry about, because if I worried about other people like pushing me and stuff like that, or thinking that I'm 100% okay now, I would be upset all the time. I would be upset all the time, and I really don't want that for myself. Like, I want to be able to just kind of like live my life and kind of like get back to being happy as much as I can. Um, Also, like when I'm taking a walk or going to a grocery store and stuff, I do get embarrassed because, I am young and I had a stroke. And, obviously with that, I lost function of like my right side. So I'm very slow and I can't run. You know what I mean? I can't really walk very fast. So, you can't explain to every single person that that's what's going on with you. So you just look like the a-hole that's not walking like knees to chest when you're crossing the street. I just accept I just look like an a-hole to everybody, even though I physically can't do it. Uh, but sometimes I'll just like break out the walker, or I'll just limp extra hard so they understand like there's something going on. Um, because sometimes it's just annoying. Mentally, everything's really frustrating mentally because nobody tells you, but like when you have a stroke, you are affected in your brain in the sense of your emotions are heightened. Like you feel everything. Like if I'm happy, I feel really happy. When I'm, sad, I feel really sad. When I'm mad, I feel angry. Like you get it. So the nice thing is that my mom has taken kind of the time to really kind of like adjust and understand like my emotions are not kind of like where they were before, where I could tone something down and stuff. Like now it's like almost impossible to do that. Um, and I kind of have to explain to her, like, and I explain to a lot of people that I like talk to kind of frequently, like, okay, like, just understand, like, if I'm answering in like a short response, it's not because I don't want to like converse or anything like that. I just literally can't handle it right now. Um, Also, if a tone comes across, please don't take it that way. I do not mean it that way. Also, I can't control like the inflection of my voice occasionally. So if I'm yelling or something about something, I don't know that I'm doing it. So please do not get offended. Like there's been a couple times that she thinks I'm like beeping with her, and I'm just like, I promise I'm not trying to come off like a douche. Like I just have a hard time. And I think that's kind of like the whole thing about it. Like, you don't fully recover. Like, I tell people, like, I'm in recovery and stuff like that. But I don't know when I'll be fully recovered from everything. I don't know if I'll be fully recovered from everything. But, all I can really do is try at this point and stuff, and just like do certain things that kind of like work on myself. Like, for example, I've been learning ASL, and specifically been working with my right hand because obviously that's the one that is affected with the stroke. ASL obviously takes a lot of like hand coordination. Like you really have to like get stuff right. So I definitely have decided to do that. I've taken up coloring, doing crosswords and stuff, like trying to do all this stuff, trying to do a lot of like housework with like my right hand and stuff, so I can like kind of get it used to things, get it a little more steady because it shakes a lot. The thing I get really frustrated about is that the physical therapy when I got out of the hospital was actually really amazing, but like the physical therapy that I was signed up for this year, like I went to two different places and both places just acted like they did not care about you, like at all. And that's really frustrating because again, like I understand I'm young, I'm not like 65. You obviously can't, you obviously, I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember where I was going with that. Also, that's another side effect. That's another side effect. You forget a lot of things. Like, you forget what you're saying a lot. Like, I don't really have, like, memory problems. Like, I remember everything that happens, but sometimes they just, like, trail off. And I forget what I'm saying. Which probably isn't too, like, different from everyone else. But yeah, like a lot of stuff that I've really done. I have taken some things from the physical therapy that I did in the summer, but I also came up with some stuff myself, like the ASL, because it's just people aren't helping me. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like I have to do something to like help myself. Uh, oh, you smack your face a lot. You smack your face a lot. For example, like when I just like push up my glasses, sometimes my hand just like, it jolts and stuff, and like I hit myself. It's very annoying. But yeah, I mean, overall, like, so I don't want to use the words that I'm not grateful, because we've been taught that you should be grateful for everything you have. But I am grateful for my cat for being able to rescue him. But yeah, I just haven't been happy with this year. I'm happy with, like, say you live in America without saying you live in America, right? Like, it's just like I got zero help. This government, they could not care. Like, I understand, like, I'm an individual, but I've been paying taxes for a long time. I've been working since I was like 14. So help. Like, this is the time of my life where I really need you to help. And thankfully right now I was able to find a job where it's mostly clicking, so I can pretty much just use like my left hand, and I barely have to type with my right, which is great because obviously it doesn't function very well. So that's super annoying. But also, I mean, the good thing is, like, I've definitely been more motivated this year to write a book. Like, that was actually a really fucking really fucking frustrating. Like, people would tell me to like write a book, or maybe you'll be inspired for this and that, and I'm just like, this stroke just happened. Like, you have to give me a minute, because I have to mentally deal with the fact that I'm physically not the fucking same. Like, I'm mentally not the same. So you kind of, no one really gives you time to like recover from that stuff. That's very frustrating. So I had to mentally get in a place where, okay, like, I'm okay. I can deal with things. Let me move on to the next step. Now I can actually do something that I really enjoy. For me specifically, I couldn't like jump right into it. I had to work on myself first and stuff, get the basics down, and then I could work on something that I enjoy. And then for me, it took a year. And I was really frank with myself when I came up with that. Like, I was just like, I'll start this when I feel good about it. Because I don't want to do something, like, I don't want to force myself to do something that I don't feel good about. You know what I mean? And I've said that before, even before all this happened. Like, you should never force yourself to do anything, because you can't produce quality work. And now that I'm able to come up with stuff and be a little more creative, I'm able to create what I think is quality work. Oh, also, I produce a lot more saliva because I forget to swallow pretty often. So, so yeah, that happens. But, things happen, unfortunately for me. Well, fortunately, I guess for some other people, I am still here. So I am still trying to make the best out of my situation and try to figure it out. Like, okay, like, I'm here, like, let's figure it out and let's go from here. So, just here taking care of my cat and trying to do this job. It's very fresh and very new. I just got it, so let's see. Hopefully I can keep it. It's a little challenging working in customer service, though, because people don't really care, like, what's happened to you, and they don't think about what can possibly have happened to you. So, it's like dealing with them sometimes when they're angry, or like, it's really tough on like my blood pressure sometimes. But then I get off work and then I'm fine. so, yeah. But yeah, I really, for the most part, in terms of diet, I'm sorry, let me fit this in at the end. In terms of diet, I don't actually eat like really very differently because my high blood pressure is, I'm tired of explaining that to people. My high blood pressure is genetic. Okay, how many times do I have to say that to people? I swear people like don't listen to me at all when I say it does not matter. I can eat, I do eat well. You know, I did before exercise. Like when I got admitted to the hospital, they were like, "How'd this even happen? Because you're not diabetic. You don't. There's no. You eat very well. Like you should not have these issues." My blood pressure is genetic. I'm always gonna have it, no matter what. Even if I lost like 50 pounds tomorrow, like I would have it. That's it. That's it. I would have to take medication for it. It's just the way it is. So for what was I saying? Oh no! I forgot. But basically, yeah, like the high blood pressure is genetic. Please understand that if you watch that, and please never forget it because it's really gonna irritate me if you ask me if my diet has changed because my diet has not changed. The only thing that has changed specifically would be the portions. And not because I was eating a lot before, but because I cannot exercise the way I used to. So I'm a lot more sedentary now. So to make up for being a little more sedentary, I do have to eat less. It's really just all about balance. But yeah, I mean, if you're not as sedentary as I am, if you are exercising and stuff, there's nothing wrong with like the portions and stuff that you had before. So yeah. So yeah, that's really it. That's really me in a nutshell. That's really been the past year. Again, if you have any questions, you can always just hit me on any one of my social sites or you can hit me in the comments below and I'll answer. So yeah, that's gonna be it. Thanks guys for watching and yeah, hopefully I make it to next year.